So as you know by now, the UK appears to have capitulated on the idea of free speech and freedom of expression and has thrown their full weight behind preventing the most odious crime of all, being offended. Last year we found out that the British police had arrested almost 3,400 people for offensive online comments in 2016 under Section 127 of the Communications Act 2003, which makes it illegal to intentionally cause annoyance, inconvenience or needless anxiety to another. And given that 13 police forces refused to provide the requested information and 2 did not provide usable data, the true figure is likely to be significantly higher. On top of that, approximately half the investigations were abandoned before being brought to prosecution, suggesting the police are being excessively strict in their application of the law. And if you didn't get the message from the conviction of Count Dankula over a joke, then the police at Scotland Yard want you to know that every move you make on social media is being watched by Big Brother. You may think online you are anonymous. You can create fake profiles and no one can trace you. That's wrong. The messages you type and send can be traced back to you. The same laws apply to online messages, images, and videos. What you post now can affect you later in life. Yes, it can, and this post may well come back to affect public confidence in the Scottish Police Force's ability to deal with actual crimes. Well, luckily, most of you watching this don't live in the UK. You don't have to worry about this type of Big Brother police state monitoring every tweet or communication, or do you? The US-based Foundation for Individual Rights in Education recently reported on university policies surveilling student social media in an attempt to make campuses safer. The not very Orwellian named Social Sentinel program is being used by the University of Virginia to monitor its students' public social media posts at a cost of $18,500 a year. It works by scanning student social media accounts based on a library of harm of thousands of words curated by Social Sentinel, in addition to words tailored to the specific school contracting with them. Posts from students containing words on these lists are forwarded to the police, who then decide whether or not to investigate the students. Now, according to the original article, since Social Sentinel was implemented, the alerts have helped police intervene in several situations, including potential self-harm situations where officers conducted a welfare check or alerted the Office of the Dean of Students. So university officials say that the program is meant to improve campus safety and is not meant to be a Big Brother surveillance. We are akin to a home alarm system or carbon monoxide filter. We are looking for indicators of harm. We've had customers call us and tell us that they've prevented a suicide, Margolis said. We've had customers letting us know they've been able to intervene in drug activity and drug sales or identify and address issues during major sporting events. So we've had many successes in that regard. Now, more broadly, in the digital age, it would be ridiculous for law enforcement agencies not to monitor social media activity, as this is how people, including, of course, criminals, often communicate. I doubt anyone has a problem with this type of surveillance when used to prevent terrorist attacks. So I don't want to sound like an alarmist. Clearly, there are genuine safety issues that a program like this may be able to address on university campuses. But as we know, the concept of safety on a university campus takes on a whole new meaning. Increasingly, university students are concerned with psychological safety, having safe spaces where no one can contest their ideas. This kind of surveillance could easily be expanded to enforce speech codes. FIRE recently reported that approximately 1/3 of US colleges surveyed maintain speech codes that clearly and substantially restrict freedom of speech. Imagine having campus police knock on your door for committing microaggressions. Perhaps you discuss something said by a particularly progressive professor on social media with fellow classmates, disagreeing with their opinion of, say, affirmative action or hiring quotas. Imagine just making fun of the ridiculous antics of social justice warriors. This could get you labelled as creating an unsafe learning environment. I recently noted the hysterical rhetoric of the National Lawyers Guild student chapter at Lewis and Clark University that claimed that talking about certain issues constitutes debating the humanity of marginalised people. How long before the Social Sentinel is infused with social justice ideology? Another problem with the Social Sentinel is that it is basically an algorithm, and algorithms are far from perfect, as any YouTuber can attest to. As the Fire article notes, a crucial difference between a report from an algorithm and from a student is that when a student reports a post to the police, they're exercising their judgment to decide that a tweet could be threatening, and then the police are using their judgment about whether or not to investigate. Forwarding any post that pings an algorithm to police and then having the police make a judgment about its context eliminates from the equation those most capable of judging a social media post's context, the post's audience. It's a scattershot tactic in an arena where precision is paramount. But again, just to push back on that point, if you are an activist type student that sees offence everywhere, you're probably not the best judge of context either. Yes, context is important, but hey, why should an algorithm like the Social Sentinel need to take into account context when human judges seem to be able to casually disregard it in a court of law? As usual, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I'll see you next time.